Good morning. Welcome to the Sunday worship service of the Unitarian Universalist Society of Schenectady. Today is Sunday, October 15th, and my name is Lars Dahl, and I use he, him pronouns. And I have the honor of serving as your worship associate today. We are so grateful for your presence today, whether here in person or here in our Zoom sanctuary. If you are visiting us for the first time in either place, we offer you an especially warm welcome. We are so glad that you are here with us today. This morning, our worship leader is Rosalind Dahl, who uses she, her pronouns. Roz has been a member of UUSS since 2007 and is the chair of the membership team. But most importantly, she is a wonderful mom.
So, what does it mean to be part of a Unitarian Universalist congregation? Because of the nature of our faith tradition, many of us weren't born UU. We chose to join this community. Like me, perhaps you are looking for a place to grow spiritually, a community of people to support and be supported by, a place to share ideas, to stretch your comfort zone. Okay, admittedly, stretching my comfort zone was not something I was seeking when I joined, but it is one of the key reasons that I choose to stay in this community. I've grown a lot over the years from my experiences here at UUSS, from the homilies and the adult religious educational programs, as well as the volunteer opportunities. If you told me before I joined that I would be a youth advisor for teens, give up my weekends and vacation time to go on youth cons and service trips, I never would have believed you. Likewise, I could not have imagined how much I would learn from sharing ideas through the educational events and casual interactions with other members. The biggest lesson I learned shouldn't be a surprise. I have found there's a direct correlation between the time and energy you put into the congregation and the rewards you reap from it. I'm thankful for all the people who paved the way for me to be part of this community. And now, as chair of the membership team, I focus my energy on keeping this opportunity of community available for others. But I need your help. Just as the humanist part of our tradition tells us we cannot rely on prayer and a divine being to make things right in the world, that we as humans need to promote social justice, so too we cannot rely on the ministers and the membership team to make the congregation a welcoming place. We all must take responsibility to make the congregation welcoming. We are all the Sea Morgue in this morning's story for all ages. When it comes to feeling really welcoming, it's a vibe the whole community needs to convey. As a whole, we need to be saying, come, come, whoever you are. Think back to the first time or times you came through the doors. How did it feel? Did you grow up going to a place of worship? Or is the very idea of coming to church foreign and intimidating? During my childhood, I attended church every week with my family. And as an adult, I had experienced different styles of worship through weddings and church shopping. Still, it felt strange going to church here and not following the rigid, familiar path of a Catholic Mass. When you first came, did you feel like everyone knew each other and knew that you were the newbie, an outsider? That all the people around you were engaged in conversation? UUs do like to talk. Were you invited to join a conversation? I remember feeling daunted by walking into a space full of groups of people talking that I didn't know with my disposable name tag and my guest colored coffee mug. Do you remember those? I was so grateful for the people who introduced themselves to me and to the person who suggested I join a small group ministry. This is where I began building a network of people to talk to at the social hour. I remember being excited about seeing the inside of this building that looked so intriguing from the outside. The Great Hall did not disappoint architecturally, and it was a little intimidating. It's not exactly clear where to go when you're inside the door, let alone where a safe place to sit is. There's no back pew to hide in while you figure out, do I belong in this group of people? Reverend Meredith Garman reminds us our message to visitors, first time or any time, should be, we belong to you. Maybe you only need us for one day, 1 hour, or maybe a couple of weeks, or maybe the rest of your life. It doesn't matter. We belong to you. This belonging doesn't flow in just one direction. Reverend Dr. Catherine Ellis believes hospitality has a spiritual dimension that can be transformative for the whole congregation. Citing Nanette Sawyer's Hospitality, the Sacred Art, Discovering the Hidden Spiritual Power of Invitation and Welcome, Ellis quotes 3 qualities of transformative spiritual hospitality: receptivity, reverence, and generosity. Where receptivity is an inner state of being open, prepared to welcome others into our hearts and into our communities. Reverence is a state of being truly with someone, honoring, respecting them, and generosity is flowing out of physical, emotional, and spiritual care. Practicing hospitality can help you realize that you have gifts to share with others, just like those birds in the story. Listening to others' stories gives you an opportunity to view the world from a new perspective. Both of these have the power to transform the person offering hospitality. So, like many other gifts, hospitality is good for the receiver and the giver. How do we get started? Yvonne Gentile and Debbie Nixon, authors of The Art of Hospitality, believe it requires radical hospitality. This goes beyond mere friendliness. 3 keys of this are letting guests know that they are noticed, paying attention to their needs, and following up after their visit. All of these require intentionality. Gentile and Nixon illustrate noticing as offering a warm greeting to each guest you encounter and being on the lookout for people that need special attention. At UUSS, we have a greeter and a welcoming table, but can we instill the art of noticing in all members? The second principle of radical hospitality is personal attention. Gentile and Nixon explain, people come to church and expect one of 2 things: to be smothered by some overzealous church people, or to be just another face in the crowd. When we take the time to make someone feel seen and heard as an individual, we surprise and delight them. Some ways the authors suggest we show personal attention include wearing your name tag, even if it's lopsided, introducing yourself and learning people's names, introducing the guests you meet to other members, anticipating and fulfilling guests' needs. For example, if the guest has children, introduce them to Leah, the Director of Religious Education. Or, if it's age appropriate, let them know the nursery is available. Challenge yourself to practice the 10-foot and 3-minute rule. Take responsibility for greeting those seated or standing within 10 feet of you. And spend at least 3 minutes before and after a church activity with someone, talking to someone you don't know very well. You might try one of these conversation starters. Hi, I haven't met you yet. My name is. Or, what a lovely necklace. Is there a story connected to it? Or, what did you think of today's worship service? I loved the story for all ages. For more ideas on ways to greet someone and advice on what not to say, check out the Welcoming versus Othering Guide. It's just this little thing that you can pick up on the welcoming table on your way out. The final principle of radical hospitality is excellent follow-through. Encourage guests to sign up for circuits, either at the welcome table or online. This ensures that Kristin, our Congregational Life Coordinator, has an opportunity to follow up with new folks. It also provides guests with the information they need to plug into church activities. After service is over, I encourage you to practice radical hospitality. Join me in introducing yourself to someone you don't know. Then listen deeply and intently. Even the smallest gesture can mean a lot to a guest, and you might be surprised at how rewarding the new connection will be for you. On behalf of the membership team, thank you. You are all welcome here.